Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton Daily Live. It is Thursday, the 20th of November. Everton in action in 4 days' time, of course, at Old Trafford against Manchester United. David Moyes will be given his pre-match press conference tomorrow at 1:30, we assume, at the moment.
I'd imagine
it's not at the latest time it can be on a Friday, that slot, and he normally likes that. So, yeah, probably be 1:45. But, and then we'll find out any squad news, I guess. I mean, shouldn't be much changes really from the last time we've been relatively, apart from Jarrod Brandtwaite.
Just the players you played international duty, I suppose.
So, and obviously I think he'll be quite happy Illiman and Jai didn't play any time against Kenya, was it? They won 8-0. And Idrissa came on as a sub late on.
Yeah. So, I mean, when did Ireland play? Sunday. So that's over a week. So
they've had that England play, and Pickford didn't play in the second one. So I think he'd be quite happy with the lads who've been away, and a few of them of our own players have been away, haven't they, last week?
Yeah.
Some in Dubai, Kieran Dewsbury was in New York, and other places. They had a few days off and went and put their feet up and all that, which is fine. So, and it's more palatable when they've won the last game, isn't it, before they go. You'll be stuck at Finch Farm practicing and all that.
Yeah.
I seen, it does make me laugh, that Fabrizio Romano, the Scouse lad, he is funny, like, but he done one. You know, Everton put a video out.
He's Scouse.
Well, where he's from, he's funny, isn't he? But he put a...
To the Wirral!
Yeah, Everton done the video of them having bowling, you know, trying to hit the wickets, and he put one out, like, he's going, strikers can't hit a ball, let's see if they can throw it at the wicket, and they all miss. They should be staying behind to practice finishing. And he's like, Michael Keane will show them how to do it, and Keane bowls one, it goes like 40 foot past it. Oh, for fuck's sake. But I thought it was quite amusing. But, yeah, so we're building up to United, and James has put a question out for the starting point of today's show, saying, should Thierno Barry keep his place against Manchester United? After, obviously, his best performance in an Everton shirt against Fulham.
Yeah.
I think he should. I've said the other week he should be getting the next half a dozen games. Yeah. And he proved against Fulham he done well, but he needs a goal, of course. But he played well enough against Fulham, so why would he be taken out for this one at Old Trafford?
I don't know. I don't even know why James has asked the question.
Well,
just feels lazy. But that's what happens when you turn up late, I suppose.
Didn't you say that you wouldn't be surprised if he didn't start against Man United?
I didn't say that. When would you have said that?
I thought you said that.
When?
I'd be surprised if he didn't start against United.
Oh, I thought you said you'd be surprised. You wouldn't be surprised if he started against Fulham and then not against Man United. That was the thing that we had last week, man.
Okay.
And that's why I thought it just stems from that.
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
There's no problem.
Have you been round paint or something? Is it fumes or something? Or
there's no problem.
I've got a cold.
Okay. Maybe get round paint, clear the sinuses. Have a curry tonight.
Gilly says no reason to drop him to the bench. Keep building his confidence up. Mr. Toffee, who's a YouTube member, says yes, keep him in the team. Wayne says, I think he gets his first goal, he'll be okay. Also says he has to start against United, needs another 5 or 6 starts to see what he can offer and build his confidence. And James Farrelly is a YouTube member as well, says 100% he's got 100% he's got much more to give than Beto. Would like to see him beside the second man up top. This has popped up the last few days, I think. I'm probably, just since Everton haven't scored a lot of goals, more people thinking play him in a 2 or have a go of playing 2 up front. But I don't know whether we'll ever see it. But is there ever a time that Everton could go with 2 up front, do you think?
No. They haven't got a midfield strong enough, have we? We haven't got a midfielder who can dominate midfield. Yeah. I think if you've got a really good midfield who can get round, I think it's slightly different. I just don't think the makeup of our squad is good enough at the moment. I think we tried it against Palace in the first half and he just cut through us. Let's be honest.
With the two midfielders.
Yeah, because we played in Jai, didn't we? And
they do play slightly different, but
No,
you're
I
right,
know,
you're
but-
right. But they do have a box midfield.
But they
which
did
not a lot
just
of
cut
clubs
us
have.
apart.
They did,
One
yeah.
pass for the goal, wasn't it? That went right through our midfield. So I think we need that extra midfielder. I think it's just up to the... Again, this comes back to just like small technical things. Like if you've got full-backs, you get forward. It means that your wide men can drift in and they provide the support. We just don't have that at the moment. And we hopefully...
Even if you had two flying wingers and you could stay solid and play a bit more direct, but we don't have that. Our wingers want the ball and slow it down a bit. So yeah, I think if you're chasing a game at home, maybe you could stick the two of them up and go a little bit more.
Even if you've got a centre midfielder who makes those runs past the centre forward, and that's what his game is, but we don't really have one of them either at the moment. So that's where we had the core. The core that's what he could do because he could get round the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's why managers loved him at the end of the day, because he was like a second striker and a midfielder.
Yeah, yeah.
And people might say, he wasn't good enough. But that's why people liked him, because he could do both jobs. Good in the air as well, defensively as well, and he ticked a lot of boxes for managers. So we just don't have that at the moment, and it's just about, that's where you got to look at building your team, isn't it, and building your squad. They're the little parts of it that you need to work on.
Definitely. Chris the Toffee says, Baz, would you eat an Orange Club for a guaranteed Barry hat-trick on Monday? I would. I'd throw
I feel like
up.
You'd have to.
I'd throw up, but I'd consume it to throw up and be sick for a few hours if it meant Thierno Barry got a hat-trick.
If you were in the jungle and they brought out like a plate of cockroaches and a plate of Orange Clubs, which one would you choose?
I'd go with the Orange Club,
Fair
because I don't think I could eat the cockroach. Okay. I'd throw up. I'd be very much like when Ginger was doing his eating task the other night with Ruby Wax, and he had the bucket there, and although they never filled the bucket, I can guarantee you I would have done.
Fair play.
But yeah, they're just as repulsive to me as what eating them cockroaches would be. So
fair play.
Wayne says, what do you think about Everton being linked with Ross Barkley again? I think he definitely offers us our midfield something different.
Age, isn't it? It's the age again. I mean, we're getting linked with Scott McTominay for a ridiculous amount of money, which just makes it nonsensical.
Yeah, it's not happening, is it?
It makes it nonsensical from the start. Ross, what would Ross... Is Ross Barkley the type of player we need? No. Well, we need a striker or a fullback. Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So, and we're not going to buy him. If we loan him, then that takes a space up that we could possibly need for a right back or a centre forward. So if it's obviously domestic, so
it's a no-go, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Villarreal fan TV, who we spoke to earlier in the summer, says, has Barry been that awful? No, he hasn't been awful. He was decent against Fulham. He obviously, confidence-wise, he's lacking a goal. He's struggling. The confidence you can see, but against Fulham in the last game, I thought he was way better. He was better at Sunderland the game before. He shows some good stuff, and then other times is a little bit off it. But it's a younger striker coming into what is an incredibly tough league, regardless of the technical ability of it, which Spain's probably more technically advanced. Football-wise, it's a yard quick at the Premier League, and it's physical. That's the thing, and it's whether they can get up to that, coping with the physicality. I'm certainly not writing them off. I think it takes time, and again, you can always go back. I'll keep going back to Jean-Philippe Mateta, who didn't even look like a footballer despite being here for a long time, and now is excellent and still misses absolute open goals, but scores good goals as well. And that's the way it is. That's the people can write them off. That's fine. People write everybody off quickly, and then when people wrote and Jai off.
It's the foil, isn't it? It's having the foil, isn't it, to go with them, and we haven't got one. Makes him stand out like a sore thumb, I think. Yeah, if we had someone else maybe who could put the ball in the back of the net, then it takes the pressure off him. So, but now it's on him now, because he could get a run of games. They're coming thick and fast in the next few weeks.
He's got to get goals. His job is to score goals. Do your job, man. Isn't it? But it is, isn't it? His job is to put the ball in the net, the same as better. We've got one goal between the two strikers.
Yeah, it's woeful.
And it's November the 20th, so it's both of them.
Confirmed.
And that's the way it is, isn't it? That's the way it is. So we've just got to go with it. You would think people who've watched football for longer than 5 minutes, though, would not write people off as well so quickly.
Sometimes, though, people do get written off and they're proved right.
Oh,
I think it's just a case of...
about a few.
I think it's just a case of just like, just wait and see.
What happens. No one's saying he's going to be Harry Kane or, Mo Salah levels of goals, but let's just let him settle and see if he does, and he might not. And he might not, he might be. But I just mean, not so. People can have an opinion and go, I'm just not convinced that he's going to do it. And that's fine, no issue with that. But I think some people see him, or feels like, and you can never get this thing, but with some people it almost feels like the sort of made up he's not being great, because then they're because he said early on, no, we live
in an era of hot takes, don't we? We live in an era of like someone saying something and then desperate for it to be right because they've said it and the internet remembers. So it's that's the way it is, isn't it?
I like going the other way and just back them and see what happens. Right, listen, we need another striker. That's absolutely blatant that we need another forward as well, and maybe one with a slightly different profile than what we've got. And I think if Everton would have if Beto would have carried on sort of the way he finished the season, there'd be way less pressure on Thierno, Barry, and it would have felt different for everyone.
Yeah,
I understand people looking and going, we spent £30 million on this lad, or 27 million at the moment, whatever. You get a striker and you pay that money, you want him to come in and start doing the business.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done it. And that's on him, really. But he's got to make sure that Fulham game was like the level at least that he's at every week. And that wasn't sort of like the best he can do. Do you know what I mean? That's got to be the level he's at every week. Make it difficult for people, and you've got to start getting on the end of things. Everton still need to be looking at a better striker, because you always do. You should be looking to make players better, wanting Everton to buy better and better and better. But I want them to do well. I won't be writing them off, moving country and 3 months into a season going, nah, he's never going to do it. Especially with the Mateta thing.
If he doesn't make it, I simply put that down to the manager and what he's got alongside them. Because I just think that the manager isn't necessarily the greatest manager to have in those teams. I just don't think Moyes has ever been amazing at cultivating strikers. So, and I just think, but it's on him now. It's on him, isn't it? The manager needs to give him time, because the alternative isn't doing it either. So he's got time. He's going to have games coming thick and fast now. A lot of pressure on him, but hopefully he's just got past that point, or at least hopefully he understands now how the pressures are different.
That's it, isn't it? That's it. The WSAB says Barry isn't built strong enough for Premier League football, too skinny and easily bullied off the ball. Yeah,
well,
but
you can improve that.
Yeah, that's like the easiest thing to improve, is building your strength up. These are some of the people saying go and get Isaac Price. Go and watch Isaac Price even now at West Brom. There's still games where he's just not in the game because he's pushed off the ball too easily. It's about building that level of strength up, isn't it? Villarreal Fan TV says he's very green and was at Villarreal. I think maybe the difference is the tempo and intensity is on another level, and he's not getting the minutes he had at Villarreal. Yeah, I agree. Dewsbury was playing deeper against Fulham. He was. But then that's where I would have thought Alcaraz would have got that, but we'll see. Let's get behind him. Daniel Barton, who's a YouTube member, says Imagine wanting your team's players to be bad just to stroke your own ego and give credence to your own opinion. Those people are muppets. You're always better being proved wrong in a good way, aren't you? That's what you want, because that means your team's doing well.
Yeah.
Everyone can make an assessment of a player and go, he's whatever. But if you're making an assessment of a player, have some validity about it, then what is it then? Why? What are you seeing? What do you think? Okay, someone's just said doesn't think he's strong enough. Okay, there is validity in that, because at times he's not using his body. Well, he can use his body, can't he? That's more, do a bit more weight, learn about. And again, I keep harping on about it. A striker coach teaches them all of those mechanics, all of those little bits that maybe the other coaches aren't identifying or can't get their points across because they didn't play in that position. It's all key. You're looking to build someone up. Again, we look and say, Everton need a striker. Who do we go and get then? I don't want to, when I'm saying like, who do we go and get? When you're looking, who do we go and get? Like right now, and be realistic with it. Of course, Erling Haaland, you'd love. There's no Erling Haalands around, is there? So who do we go and get where you can go? I know when we buy him, he scores goals. Put him in, he scores goals. I've seen before someone saying we're 2 players short of being a team that can challenge for Europe, totally. And one of the two, one was a right back, which you don't really argue with that. And the other one was a top class striker. Well, who's the top class striker who Everton can buy?
I think top class, if you replace that with consistent, that's the difference, isn't it? If you get a consistent.
But if I said to you, go ahead, Pets, go and buy us one in January, you'll guarantee goals from, who would you get? And it's got to be, you can't say like Ivan Toney, because it's not realistic and he ain't coming. So, but
depends what realistic is. I don't know what realistic is anymore. I don't. When I say that,
when I look at strikers, honestly, there's no one who I go, I guarantee. But
I don't know what realistic means in terms of like, I don't know what money Everton have got, and then but if they have got the money, are those players prepared to sign for the football club?
Yeah.
Like, was Walter Mead too expensive, or did he just want to go to a team that was playing in the Champions League? Like, do you know what I mean? Did Everton have that? Did Everton have that kind of money, or when he was available? But then he was just like, no, I want to play for the Champions League.
But he was a gamble.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's the point, isn't it? There are these players out there that financially now Everton might be able to go, do you know what? We can put some money on him because we only need a couple of signings. But it's whether that player wants to come. Everton aren't an attractive proposition. When other teams are playing in Europe or other teams are fighting for Europe, you've got to sell that to them. Can you sell that to them? The lad at Bournemouth has got a £65 million buyout. Now Everton might be able to go, we've got that.
But he's a winger.
No, but he's a winger who scores goals.
No, but he's a winger.
But he's a winger who scores goals. And there aren't centre forwards,
but what would we do? We'd go and get him. Semenyo or something. Go and get Semenyo, play him on the right. Then who's the striker?
That's fine. No, but I don't care.
And where does Njai go? And who's...
I honestly don't care. I don't care. He scores goals. If he scores...
But Everton aren't going to do that, are they? Everton are going to go for a striker, aren't they?
But if he scores goals, there's no...
I love Semenyo.
But he's a player that you go... He's a player who go, well...
I also don't think he come.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're saying it's a sideways step because Everton are not in Europe and Bournemouth are not in Europe, and he's like, I want to go to a Champions League team. I've done that, and that was brilliant. Now I want to go to a Champions League team because that's the next step. So
that's what I'm saying. When even if I suspend all of that and I look around and go, right, who can we get who will come in and change the team? As in, because they'll be consistently scoring goals for us. Not many jump out at me. Not many jump out, other than, and the ones who do are the ones that won't come.
Yeah, that's it.
So everyone's a gamble. I mean, Troy Parrott's being mentioned again. Like I said, like a week ago, if we'd have said Everton should go all in on Troy Parrott, everyone would have started laughing. He scored half of his international goals in the last 6 days. And he's got 5 in his last 7, which meant he had none in 5 before he scored against Portugal. So, there's, he's had a great hot spell, don't get me wrong, but he'd be another gamble.
You're scouting on what he's doing at Alkmaar. You're not scouting on what he's done for Ireland, because that would just be ridiculous. And
we had King Hoddle in the chat the other day, he's a Spurs fan, who said, no chance he can play in the Premier League and do it. He watched
Yeah, I
them
mean,
close.
he watched them play for Spurs. That's I wouldn't necessarily.
But even, have you looked at his goal record on loan in the Championship and had he hardly scored?
Harry Kane hardly scored. He didn't. That's
No, but Harry Kane was built.
No, I'm not. I'm not defending. I'm not saying Troy Parrott. I'm just saying that's not always the. But I wouldn't. I'd want a scouting report off what he's done for Alkmaar. Not a week of high emotion playing for Ireland. Yeah. It's a completely different thing. Some players just have purple patches. You want that consistent scouting report.
It's why I couldn't believe we didn't get Burkhardt, to be honest. I really couldn't believe. He went for 17 million, Jonathan Burkhardt, having scored consistently, good penalty. Everton really should have bought him and Thierno Barry. That's really what they should have done. And then they'd have had a 24-year-old lad who's done well in Germany, a younger player, and Beto. They'd have had three. And he can play, he can operate wide at a push.
Once again, I'm surprised that you're surprised.
I know. But I did say in the summer, going from 4 strikers to 2 was mad. I just found that mad.
Yeah.
And I know they weren't all available all the time last season, and one of them was Chimiti, but even so, it was still 4 lads who could do a job up front, and he went from that to Beto, who he's not 100% convinced on, even though he's done well, Beto, at times, and the lad coming in from Spain, who was always going to, probably always going to take a bit of time. So I did find that a bit mad. But when people say just go and get one, it's like, well, who then? The only one I can genuinely look at and go, we could get him and he wouldn't take time to settle in and he gets goals, is Richarlison. It's the only one I can make a case
Everton
for.
Everton have got to start having a process going forward where it's like you have one you've got to hope that Everton get to a level where, and not many teams can do this, by the way, but it's like Everton can buy one of their strikers from within England who's already got that like skill set and body ready to play in the Premier League. I think that's really important because when you look at like players who come from other leagues, I mean, look at it's not the position, but look at Wirtz at Liverpool struggling to adapt to the pace of and the strength of the Premier League. You know, and they paid an absolute fortune for him. Isaac is a brilliant goal scorer, but struggles with fitness because look at him. There's nothing of him. He's scrawny. I know he will. You know, he'll have a body underneath, but you know what? But he gets injuries all the time because of that frame, that physique of playing in the Premier League consistently, and that's half the problem, isn't it? The Premier League is such a step up in physicality and pace that it's almost like you're building the players who've got the physicality and then you're grafting everything onto them. Yeah. We were talking about yesterday. Someone called up yesterday. It was Steve, he Welsh fan, and he was saying about the Welsh team, and he was like, "We've got so many ordinary players." He said, "But what we've got is pace." And he said, "That's the thing Craig Bellamy's identified is like put pace into that team, and we will scare teams." Like, you've got those hard-working players who don't even play in the Premier League, who are playing Championship and even playing League One, I think, for Cardiff. He said, but they've got pace and that scares them. He said, you can't graft pace onto players, but if you've got pacey players, you can graft graft the other bits onto them.
Well, this is what I said in the summer. And Steve P said, I'm more concerned about the Dibbling signing than Thierno Barry. When we needed... And I haven't read the rest of it. I'll read the rest of it now. I look at a similar age players who other clubs signed in the summer for less money, and they're just playing games and looked ready instantly. Where to me, Dibbling looks like a child and doesn't have the attributes we needed at all. Really hope I end up being wrong, but I'm still scratching my head about that signing. Even watching him for the under-21s for England, I just can't see it.
Yeah, but this is a player that everyone who's coached him has said he's got the potential to be one of the best of the crop. I don't think David Moyes is the best manager for him. Again, I'll stress that again. I stressed that the other week. I'm not 100% sure Moyes is the best person to develop these players. Moyes has got a brilliant skill set at what he does. I just don't think developing young players is one of those skill sets. He always prefers, players who've been around a little bit, got a bit of experience. and that's just the way it is. He gets results out of that.
Yeah.
There's a reason. We've got the oldest team at the moment, and we're making, some of the least subs in the Premier League. That's a reason. Moyes wants players he can trust, and that's my only worry. I think Dibbling could end up being fine. It'll be interesting whether there's a plan for Dibbling with Njai going to the Euros. Is there a plan? Is this almost like a get him ready year? Because there's no thought process about signing Grealish. And it's
could be, yeah.
In the summer, Jai goes back to the left and Dibbling plays on the right. That could be the evolution. And he's just, people might be like clamouring for Grealish. I'm like, that's never been the plan. The plan is this is always his bedding in you. Who knows? Who knows? It'll all play out in time. I do believe that we should have gone for greasy pace as well. I think we should have a player in with something like greasy pace. But it's just very unmoist, isn't it? Very unmoist. Steak, by the way, you had a question yesterday, and I said, tell us today. So whatever that question was, where is it? Because you're letting yourself down and you're letting the country down.
That was 2 days ago.
Yeah, well, there you go, 2 days ago.
Dickie wants to straighten it with Bonk. Says 100% Barry must start. Only way he's going to grow. Be a tough game for him, but it's the only way he's going to make it at Everton. Beto offers nothing when he starts.
Did I say Euro? Sorry, I meant the AFCON. Sorry.
Gary Wood also says leave him in there. We don't have any better options. Chris Pearson definitely give the kids some confidence going forward. Josh says 100% stay in, and I'd also keep James Garner at right back and go at them. But we know we won't do that. David Eo, yes, he needs to be backed. Rich Parry says, afternoon fellas, yeah, let him carry on. I back Baz on his striker theories. We having a Premier night soon. Keep up the boss work, fellas. Derek says, I'm with the majority. Say to him, you're our forward for the rest of the year, and we'll look at the situation in January. No, stay. I've not seen Kenneth Eichhorn, but I will put him on my list to have a little look at.
You're just making them up at this point, let's be honest.
Derek says,
these are generated plays from Football Manager.
Instead of a second striker, I'd go for Alcaraz in the Dewsbury Hall role and put Dewsbury Hall further back. He's the nearest to the Duke role we've got. Alcaraz, he means. Mark Mack says Tim or Malin role on Monday.
I can't make a judgment because I've not seen Malin role play a full game. I don't know. It depends how the manager thinks.
I'd probably play role, and I like it about him, but I think maybe at Old Trafford,
because he keep the ball better.
Yeah, and because he does try to break forward quickly with the ball. Maybe he's
again. You have to start to
catch them out, but you might have.
You've got to start identifying. Well, you've got to start identifying the player who's going to take out of his Sagana Gay as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And maybe that's why. Maybe that's why he played Tim in the last game. I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's the player who can do it.
Paul Robinson says 100% should keep his place. The fact Everton have Beto with the 9 shirt isn't great. I'm paraphrasing. The idea that someone playing at this level might require extra coaching on what appears to be the basics of the position is farcical. Barry all day long from now. I know, Paul, but you'd also have specialists. Goalkeepers get specialised training every single day. Jordan Pickford gets it every single day to make him a little bit better. It's a different game, isn't it? Do you
think they should have a whip round?
For what?
A coach.
Everton.
I
think Everton can afford.
The players are like, lads, come on. These are not giving it, so let's go and get our own. Get on the phone.
They should be. I just don't, in this day and age, I just don't understand why you're not looking for every marginal gain you can get and trying something. If you've got 2 strikers who aren't scoring goals, then you bring someone in to give them a touch, don't you? Maybe you should look at all of you as a coaching staff and go, maybe we're not ideal for these 2 lads. Maybe they just need a different voice or a bit of different information. Nothing wrong with taking bringing someone in on a short-term basis or a consultant level or whatever. Once a week. That's what it's how you get better.
I just think football's full of egos. And
of course it is.
And no one's willing to admit that they're maybe not good enough to do it.
It's like having, if you're a centre forward as a manager, and you're like mainly your sort of coaching staff made up of wingers and forwards, right? And your forward play is really good, but you can't keep a clean sheet. Are you the best person to coach centre-backs out? You might be able to go, well, this is what I did as a striker, or this is what forwards are looking for, and they can understand a bit of that. But shape and how to move across and like, you can tell them, but sometimes identifying with a specialist in that area gives them something they haven't quite seen, or how to read a game or whatever. And Everton, quite clearly, under the last couple of managers, Dyche and Moyes, defensively are normally quite strong, especially when Brandtwaite's there. But offensively, it hasn't improved. Moyes, we've scored more goals since David Moyes come in, but not tons and tons more. We've been more offensive.
Yeah.
So now we're looking for nuances. We're looking for one-to-one coaching. We're looking to give lads advice, make runs, how to hold the ball up, what to be looking for. I just think you exercise everything. You get someone in for 3 months and see if it makes a difference. If it does, then they become in. If it doesn't, you change it. Then go, well, we give you that extra bit.
I suppose it depends what time scale they give themselves as well, isn't it? It's like they might have gone, we expect Barry to take X amount of months to bed in, and maybe he's come in and they've been a little bit short. Or maybe he hasn't. Because they'll have, listen, it's not thrown together. The day Barry walked into training, when you see all those physical tests getting done, all those people take all that away and come up with a plan to get him where they think he needs to be. So that's nutrition, his weight training, everything is formulated. They don't just walk into training, train in the weights and start doing. Everything is formulated. Outside of that, they'll have the chef and all that. He'll be told what to eat, what to do, everything. That's football. That's modern that's the athletic side, isn't it? And it takes time. You buy a player, you don't know what the physical specs are of that player. So you've got to, and it doesn't happen overnight. You bulk up. It takes time to bulk up, and then it's how does that bulking up work with the normal training, and how that makes you tired and all that other stuff. It might be taking longer. It might be taking longer for him to get to that position, and it does take. Look at when Asnu came in, and Moyes is like, it's going to take a year. It's going to take a year to physically get him to the level we need. Michalenko was quite light and scrawny, and it took him a good 18 months, and then he came back a couple of summers ago, and you could see it on his neck how physically it developed. It's the hardest league in the world in terms of physicality, and that's the difference, isn't it? Players come in from all over the world and they think they're just going to boss it.
Yeah.
And they don't, because they just can't physically cope with it. And then you add that to the games, and it's very, very tough. Very tough.
It's difficult, yeah. It's difficult. But you do have to let people settle in as well. Strikers I keep saying about Isaac. Played in the Premier League for years and done tremendously well and cost 140 million, hasn't scored a goal. So, it's, things can take time. Got to let it play out a little bit. And we don't want to. People are impatient. People do want to, stamp the feet and all of that with it. You just got to let it play out. It's frustrating. It'd be great if he's, if he did the ground running and had 5 or 6 goals. It'd be brilliant. He hasn't at the moment, so that's the way it is, isn't it? But I do always think you should be looking to squeeze every drop out of players. And, sometimes, maybe the ego does take over in terms of the coaching staff. We know it did with the last fella. Yeah. And, maybe there's a bit of that here. You don't know, do you? You don't know. I don't go and watch training, so I wouldn't know. But
Emma, he's never fit. Patterson. He's never fit, is he? And that's the other side of it. Maybe he's picking up injuries because they've got him to that kind of size, because he obviously has got bigger. But his body, look, seen it with Rom when he put all that weight on, and you've seen it with Calvert-Lewin when he put all that weight on. his body just couldn't cope with it, and that's the other side of it. Patterson's picking up injuries, and maybe that's in relation to trying to get bigger and stronger. Their bodies just can't cope. He's picking up hernia injuries. I mean, that could be related to all kinds of things. Overtraining, overusing the gym. Ron, when he left Man United, remember the size of him, and he was just like, he couldn't, his body was breaking down because it couldn't cope with the demands of that kind of weight, and playing football.
And what he needed to do.
And playing football every day, it happens, doesn't it? It's horrible, isn't it? Because it's almost like it has to be the perfect. I know Delafeu's done an interview with Everton, hasn't he? But I'm sure he'll be. I haven't watched it, but I'm sure he'll be saying, coming out and saying things about why it never worked. But let's not remember he's a player that was blowing out of his arse after 20 minutes. But that's because he had asthma. And it's like, that's just one of those things in life where maybe he couldn't cope, and then maybe he's gone away to do something about it, and he's destroyed his knee doing that. And he's been out for over 2 years with a knee injury, and it's all these, you forget that. We've lost some unbelievable footballers to consistent injuries. I mean, we are literally the R9 fan club. But this is a lad who literally lost most of his career to knee injuries and people kicking him. And towards the end, his weight ballooned because he couldn't. I mean, you look at him now, but he can't train.
He couldn't train. Same way,
he can't train. He's heavy. There's got to be that when you see some other players go the other way, like Gareth Bale when he went to Madrid and he's on the secret sauce, Lewandowski, and it's the same. It's like you watch how their bodies just develop, well, them and Real Madrid seem to have the secret sauce, don't they? And it's like you watch them and go, wow, look, but they've managed to go the other way, and some players can't cope. Their bodies just can't cope with the demands, and it's sad. It's so sad.
It is about, so a couple of people said, just about using your body correctly, and it is. It's about using what you've got. Thierno Barry's 6'5", so it's about being able to use that frame in the best way possible. Someone pointed out Isak has done well. He's a different player. He's obviously a really skillful player. Has done well. You can cope. And Jai's not exactly a big lad, is he? But he's so strong on the ball. So it's about learning that as well, and knowing what it is, knowing how to protect the ball in this league. Stuff that you get fouls for in Spain, you ain't getting in the Premier League. So it's just about that. It's really, can you use that? And we mustn't forget Everton coming off the back of a win. Going to Old Trafford. Mark, I'm not answering that in public, am I? DP've done that one. Mark says, was listening to Jermaine Beckford on a podcast the other day. He didn't do too bad for us. Always thought it was strange that we sold 10 goals that easily. Moyes and strikers don't seem to go hand in hand.
No, Moyes and discipline. Don't turn up at games late.
Yeah,
games you're supposed to start.
I think he did piss Moyes off a couple of times with the discipline side. That Oldham game in the FA Cup where he went back to Manchester to then try to drive back over, and he got to the ground at kick-off time when he was starting, and had to be a sub. And Everton got beat. Didn't really do him any favours with the manager. Tom Dobbo says, I'm back as a premium member after a few months of being skint.
Nice one,
What
mate.
do you think of the McTominay rumours? Well, nice one for coming back, Tom. I think Scott McTominay be really good for Everton. I thought he'd be really good for Everton when he left United.
Yeah.
And I thought United fans were crazy when they were like saying he's rubbish, and he was their second best player after Bruno Fernandes. Always delivered for them, but they had the snobbery at United that their teams over the last few years didn't sort of deserve. He's been brilliant for Napoli. He scored an absolute corker the other night, didn't he? It'd be great, but it depends what they want for him. I know there was a figure of 62 million yesterday, but that's nonsense.
No, it's nonsense to buy, but it might be what they want.
No, they might.
They have every
There was talk they were going to let him go though, anyway, which is weird because Napoli's such a weird club. But don't know. Didn't he get something like 20 goals for them last season in all competitions or something? He's been sensational. He'd be a really good player for Everton. I just don't think it's realistic. But he is a good player. He is a good player. Jay, it's on YouTube. Just go onto our YouTube page and it's there. Or searching Premier Ped Room 101 and it might come up, but it's definitely just on our YouTube page as well. So there's Ped's Room 101 still available. I saw a short this morning about knobheads being blasted into the sun. I need to be seeing this. We'll go and watch it today. Steve P says, I was asking Baz about Troy Parrott. I'm in two minds about him because prior to those two games, I always saw him as one of those strikers you'd see scoring 20 in the Championship, coming up not being able to score 5, and I still kind of do think that. But when I was watching him the other night, he does look like an Everton player, and he's definitely quicker than I thought. He's reminding me a bit of Vardy, but you can't be signing a player off 2 international games. Many players are much better for their country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by him, to be honest. But me being not convinced doesn't mean he's not going to be a good striker. I just look at him and I don't know. Is the answer still? Look and think, if you played him through the middle for Everton, does it solve our problems? And I'm not sure. It's the reality. I think Holland's not a very good bar for strikers. Yeah. For every Luis Suarez or players, Ruud van Nistelrooy, there's Mateo Kesman and Georgie Samaras and Alfonso Alaves.
Absolutely.
So it's a tough one because that league it's a lot slower, and therefore you can go in and score goals and do really well there. Davy Klaassen got 20 over there and come over here. Got 20 from midfield and come over here and struggled, and then went back later and was boss again. So I know it helped Jared Brandthwaite. Yeah. He did really well, but defence, you can do it because it's about learning that, and he's a good footballer. And maybe there's an argument for some midfield players to go and play in it because there is technical players there and you can develop. And it's great for strikers who score goals there. But we'll see. We'll see how Brien Brobby does. I know he scored against Arsenal the other week, but if the keeper had just stayed at home, it'd have been a simple catch. We'll see whether he gets double figures, 15 goals for Sunderland. Everton watched him a few years ago and decided no. But he's still only about 23 and he's quite strong. So I don't know. His record's good for Alkmaar, like it is.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
But I honestly don't know, Steve. If he carries on, then why not? But don't know. And I seen €40 million the other day for him, like, behave. Jay says, Ped didn't say he'd be surprised if Barry didn't start for United. Yeah, I think he agreed with me. We wouldn't be surprised if O'Brien started at right back, was what we said. It wouldn't surprise us. We didn't say he would.
What's that got to do with Barry?
Because he then says, he said he'd be surprised. He said he'd be surprised, wouldn't be surprised if O'Brien started at right back. It'd be mad if Moyes took him out for this one, though, given he's played well for 70-odd minutes against Fulham. Thierno, I mean. Yeah. And Beto is always... Beto's better coming off the bench. Just is. He just is. He comes off and knocks people about and that, and maybe he's a bit fired up from not starting. Maybe that's the best route at the moment, is play Barry for 65 minutes and then put Beto on. No, but what else are you going to do?
Exactly. What else are you going to do?
Graham Lloyd says the Jerry interview was a great watch. He's been so unlucky with injuries. Yeah. He has, hasn't he? He's had 2 knee injuries in 3 seasons, so he's hardly kicked the ball for 3 years, really.
He's finished, let's be honest.
So, I think he sort of knows that. Certainly finished at a top level, I would imagine, with that. So, Keith Hall says, hello, lads, I read the Barry interview, and the worrying thing is, he said he stays back and does striker training with Baines and Billy McKinley. Now, I love Baines, but he's no striker coach. Makes total sense, your argument for bringing someone in. I just can't see why Moyes won't. Is it his stubborn style, maybe? I don't know. I just think I'd be trying everything to get those lads up and running when you need goals, you know what I mean? But he might think, what's the point? We've got Baines and Billy McKinley. I don't know. I don't know. Dublin Kev says, lads, can you reply to my DM about pinning the location for the studio so I can show you the home farm Everton?
No, we don't want you to be come here, Kev. Could be sick and make us all ill.
Dublin Kev just trying to do something nice. Yeah. Blue Zach Pavlidis from Benfica. He's scored a lot of goals, hasn't he? He's decent. What could he do with here? Don't know. Again, Portugal's another one, isn't it? You look at that and go, strikers there, can they come here and do it? And what's really odd is, like, Raul Jimenez hardly scored a goal over there. And came to Wolves and was brilliant and has scored goals, so maybe his style suited the Premier League more than it suited Portugal. This is the thing with strikers is, it is a flip of a coin nearly unless you're getting Erling Haaland or you're getting Harry Kane.
We live in a terrible period of time for strikers, don't we? Like, it is really bad.
It's woeful. Ian Murphy, YouTube member, says apparently Goldbridge thinks McTominay's one of the worst players ever to play for United. It's Mark Goldbridge. And Dan Goodman says Goldbridge with crying faces. The player that's nominated for the Ballon d'Or is the worst player to play for United. Yeah, it is mad. Daniel Barton says in Depay's contract, he makes 40 million a year and has a 46,000 a month apartment with a maid and a butler and armed vehicles. Can't blame him for taking that. Must have the best agents in the world.
Yeah, they're trying to cancel his contract because they can't afford to do it all anymore.
I don't think the country could afford that.
No. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Brad says, who is your guy's dream possible striker in January? Personally, I think Igor Thiago. He is. People make out Mateta isn't. And Mateta, in my eyes, is basically just better, but he scores more. Yeah, but Igor Thiago's only just started.
Forest?
No, it's Igor.
Oh, sorry.
Thiago at Brentford. But he's been out injured as well. And he scored half of his goals were being penalties. But he is a decent striker. It's a decent striker.
He didn't have any pressure on him last year because they had two decent strikers. So he's been able to come through quietly, hasn't he?
Daryl says, big up, lads. I'm watching all the way from Gainesville, Florida, up the Toffees forever. Daryl, I've been to Gainesville in Florida. There you go. My mate used to, was at university there before he moved and went over to Pasadena. But he was at Gainesville uni for a long time. So I've been to Gainesville. Nice place. Hendrik is available on loan.
To Leon.
Small though, isn't he?
He's going to Leon.
Is he going to Leon?
It's done. Yeah, it's all done.
There you go. I'm just replying here. Troy Parrott isn't John Parrott's son.
Not that we know of.
No.
What would be the...
But John Parrott is an Everton fan. Philip Gameran says, I still feel unless we get fast attacking fullbacks, our build-up play will still be slow and predictable, and any striker will struggle. I mean, that's one of the things, isn't it? It's not like, I mean, Beto's missed 3-4 excellent chances, but it's not like they're missing open goals every single week, is it? Because we're creating so many chances. No. And some of that will be down to them, of course. It is not being where they should. I mean, Beto should have had 3. And Jai should have 3 more assists from what he's given Beto on a plate inside the 6-yard box. But they're not sort of missing 100 of chances. Like Jez D says, we're all thinking that the sole reason Moyes doesn't get a striker coaching or set piece coaching is because he's stubborn. He had Charlie Adam, and I worry that was, I told you, confirmation bias. The Gary Bartles experiment. Yes.
Gary Bartles was always just on the end of a phone. No, that's the difference.
He was. Well, he was at the Forest Thursday club, wasn't he?
And that's where the fountain of knowledge.
The Everton manager went to on a Thursday.
Yeah. Sterny.
But there you go. They're at Forest now, so it makes it easier for them to do that.
Does.
And if Chris Wood goes through a dry spell, he can ask Gary Birtles.
Every day's a Thursday.
Exactly. Sinisius even just said, just had a Hill Dickinson tour advert pop up. Nice target. It's all good.
It's the algorithm.
There you go. The algorithm.
Taking over.
Loves you. Daryl said it's a great place. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Paul Slater says, let's get things right here. Keane currently has more league goals than Beto and Barry. Neither of them are good enough to ever do anything in this league. Kiefer Moore would do better. He wouldn't. So, but each to their own. Do we just say I'm not advocating signing Kiefer Moore?
It felt like he was advocating.
I mean, Beto did get 8 Premier League goals last season. I'm not convinced Kiefer Moore's ever got 8 Premier League goals. He did get it, and he scored against Everton once.
Of course he did.
We'll see. We'll see, mate. Won't we? But the point is, right? The point is, Barry plays for us, so, and he's only just signed, so let's back him and see what he can deliver. That's the point. If in a year's time he's still got 1 or 2 goals, then you're quite sort of justified in going, he's not good enough or he's not the answer or whatever, of course. But it's still early. It's only started 3 games for Everton. Or might be 4 now. 3 or 4. It's not many. It's not many at all, is it? I mean, do you actually see Everton getting a striker in January? What do you think?
I do. I do. I think. I don't think Moyes is going to be. Moyes isn't definitely not happy with what he's seeing, and I just. That's like, as I said, that's why I sort of worry about all these young players. To be honest, I think he'll have to. I think it's more because of Beto more than anything, rather than Barry. I think he'd like maybe to give Barry or take the pressure off Barry. Like there's pressure on Barry when Beto's not playing, and then now Barry's playing. There's pressure on Barry, so there's pressure on Barry. I think he'd like to take that off by having someone who's gonna be backup, and I think that's where they went wrong in the summer. I think they should have brought in somebody else to take that little bit of pressure off. Even if it was a more experienced sort of striker where people would
Callum Wilson
maybe look at them. I don't know, maybe just so people look at them and just say, well, if they're chipping in with the goals, or someone to come out and say, oh, we're doing this. And I mean, because that's another thing, isn't it? It's like, you want to start, if you've got someone there as well who can come out and communicate and speak to the media and stuff and be like, oh, it's just one, he'll get there, they'll get there, whatever. I just think when you've got 2 struggling strikers, neither of them, they always seem to be under a little bit of pressure and stuff. You want someone to take that off them, and there just isn't that person to take it off them at the moment. So having someone with a bit of experience would really help.
Blue Amsterdam, that's fine, mate. I've watched a lot of Kiefer Moore. I've seen him in the Premier League. Wasn't up to it. Was nowhere near the level in the Premier League, which is why he spent most of his career in the lower leagues. He's doing really well at Wrexham, but mid-table Wrexham. A lot of Premier League clubs are want strikers. So we'll see whether there's any interest in them taking Kiefer Moore from Wrexham, but I doubt there will be. Beto, whatever you think of him, in my opinion, would outscore Kiefer Moore in the season in the Premier League. But I'm not saying Beto's good enough either. Of course I'm not. But it's all opinions, isn't it? It's all opinions. I've seen Kiefer Moore and just look and just go, no. I get why he's doing all right in the Championship.
Yeah, it's bread and butter, that, isn't it, for
big,
him?
powerful, striker, but we'll see. Ipswich had him and didn't really use him, didn't really want him, and we're happy to let him go. And he's doing well for Wrexham, so we'll see. Al Clark says, Mikel Antonio.
Here comes, it's like the red that rag through the ball.
No, I'm not. Listen, Mikel Antonio wasn't good 10 years ago.
Can he even walk?
Don't know. Who knows? But I think the only sort of player, like I said before, I'd love Francolino too, but then I don't think our fans are ready. Some of our fans are ready for another player who
You sounded like Marty McFly then,
They've got to go.
after you just played that song.
No, but they're not, are they? Because he's another one who, if he clicks, probably wouldn't be here that long because he's got loads of ability. But our fans don't want that. They want a guarantee. So therefore, to go and get a guarantee, there's only Richarlison. He's the only one you can get. Who you might be able to get in, who doesn't need a settling in period, loves Everton anyway, and will get on the end of things, got good touch, good movements, and will score goals, you know, between now and the end of the season. And the others can certainly Barry can sort of watch what he does, and it takes the pressure off him because you've got that. But that's what it is, isn't it? That's what it is. But I don't know. Who else can they go and get? Liam Delap on loan. Well, would Chelsea be prepared to let him go out? They might, because he's not really doing anything there.
I just don't think they will though, because
it's a bit early.
It's not only a bit early. They've got a lot of games, haven't they? And he's just he's another player. It's, you know, can take the pressure off. He's that kind of player because you can go long to him and stuff. So
I don't know. Who knows? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's who you can grab in.
We just live in a bad period of time for like strikers. It's just like there's like people. You really do scratch your head for like players where maybe in the past you could probably come up with 6 or 7 that might be playing in the Premier League that you could go and get him. Yeah. We could get him. We don't live in that era anymore. No. You know.
Terrible coaching.
It just don't live in an era of like the Andy Johnsons and the BTs and the Kevin Phillips and you know what I mean? You look at and go,
English.
There's one there that we could go and get him. Well, I mean, you know, we just don't live in that era anymore. We just don't have proper centre forwards anymore, and it's they're just
because they're all looking for the same thing and it's not actually good strikers.
And
it's
the level,
powerful players.
But also because the level of the Premier League is so high physically compared to other leagues, everyone who comes in has to bed in. It's whether you've got that. It's whether you're willing to go. This fella's going to take, you know, a few games to bed in, or you touch very lucky and you find like a Morgan Rogers, and you scout them so well that there's absolutely no worries about. They're going to come in and they're going to score goals, and you know that's where you have to be right. But you have to be like, you also can't mess about with that. You have to make a decision and go and get the player and have no regrets about it and be like, bump, and you're in the team. Well, obviously what Villa did.
And he was at Man City, wasn't he? He was come through City. So,
but for every Morgan Rogers, you've got the kid who came from Hull and went back to Villa and went.
Yeah.
The one who went
Philistine, Jaden Philistine.
Yeah, he's not my winger.
He's not much, has he? So,
no, but that's the point, isn't it?
Everton fans are losing their heads.
That's the thing, isn't it? You've got the So
here, Murphy, YouTube members, says some of the shouts in here today are woeful. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion, aren't they? Everyone sees the game differently, don't they? I think the problem is for people, they want something that isn't around. They want a mythical 1-2 striker, and they are mythical for the most part, who Everton can just go and pick up in January, and it's like, where are they for a start?
Yeah.
And how'd you get it? They're just not there, so I think it is, a lot of them are about developing them. And I think people's ideas are centre forward. I mean, you go through the Premier League, Arsenal spent 70 million on one, and he hasn't actually been great so far, Gyökeres. Villa have got Ollie Watkins, but the other good one they had couldn't wait to get off in John Duran. You go, who's like Chelsea have got the lap, but he's not really playing. So João Pedro plays, and they've got obviously Estevao, even though they've played him wide, can go through the middle, and you've got a couple of other.
They record that one from Sunderland.
They got Gui as well. Palace have got Mateta, and after him, Nketiah, who I don't really rate anyway. So, you know, when you're going down the league and you're going, well, who else can we get? Bournemouth have got Semenyo scores their goals, but they've got Thingy through the middle. Evan Nielsen, who cost them 40-odd million. He's all right. Brighton, Got Danny Welbeck, who's 35. You know, we're on the other side. Leeds have got Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You know, Liverpool have got Isak, who hasn't scored a goal, probably cost 140 million. Ekitike, who's done all right, but is still, I don't think he's only scored like 1 league goal in 6 or something, or 2 in whatever it is after he started brilliantly. He's still done well. You know, so you're working your way down. There's not, they don't all stand out with these big goal scorers.
Here's the top 10 strikers, goals-wise, in the top 5 leagues at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
So, Erling Haaland, 14, Premier League. Harry Kane, 13. Kylian Mbappe, 13. So that's your top 3.
There's your top 3, yeah.
4 is Joaquin Panicelli at Strasbourg. He's got 9. I imagine Chelsea probably already own him.
He is one who you could look at because he's doing well, but Chelsea will buy him.
5, Greenwood. 6, Igor Thiago. He's got 8. 7, Esteban Lepoul from Rennes. He's got 8. Rennes are owned by... Not Bournemouth, is it?
No, Bournemouth own Lorient. I don't know.
Someone own Rennes, I'm pretty sure.
Well, he will.
Julian Alcaraz has got 7. Not getting him.
No.
Robert Lewandowski, he's got 7. Not getting him. Jean-Philippe Mateta, he's got 6. Danny Welbeck got 6. Senyo's got 6. Luis Diaz has got 6. Vedat Miriki plays for Mallorca. He's got 6. Jonathan Burkhardt has got 6. These are now, we're getting lower now.
You're going down.
Haris Tabakovic, Borussia Mönchengladbach, he's got 6. And 17, Sofia Diop, Nice, he's got 6.
Nice, yeah.
So there's 17 players. And if I'd read out the ones that weren't household names, most people would go, what? Why are we going after him?
That's it. So, Daniel Barton says, would you look at Jackson from Munich? From Chelsea, Munich. Don't want him, might be worth a look in the summer. Maybe. But Paul Slater, he scored against Fulham. So it's not a recorded shot on target because Njai was offside, but he did score. Listen, Paul, I'm not. You've got your own opinion on Thierno Barry, whether you think he's good enough or not. That's fine. No problem with it, mate. No problem with it. He plays for us. He's an investment. He started 4 games. If you're writing people off that quickly, that's fine. Again, I'm just saying, you can't always make a decision that quickly. Players turn around. He might not turn around. You might be spot on. Who knows? Someone said Strand Larsen at Wolves. How many goals has Strand Larsen got this season? I know he scored in the Carabao Cup, but in the Premier League. Has he scored a Premier League goal? 1 goal. She's got same as 8 games, 1 goal. Same as Beto.
He also sat in the director's whatever box against us, laughing his head off when they were getting beat
because
he thought he was going to Newcastle.
Yeah.
So is that the kind of person you want?
Scandalous, isn't it? Really. But yeah, listen. Who knows? Paul, who would you go and get? Who would you go and get in January? Who you can guarantee he'll score goals for Everton for the rest of the season? Who we can get. Don't say Ivan Toney or someone who we can get. Because Thierno Barry's just come and we're never ever going to change as a football club if these lads have to hit the ground running or people just write them off straight away. You're never ever gonna change because that means you do then go into the bracket of buying players who are 26 to 29 playing in the Premier League so that you just go, well, he'll do all right.
Yeah.
And then Everton, just the best they probably ever get is 12th, 13th, mid-table, if they get that by getting these players. Can't look enviously at Bournemouth and Brighton, at these clubs, Brentford, who've done well in the past. And gone, well, yeah, but look at what they do. They get players who mightn't develop for a year. Thiago come in, Brentford fans saying he's terrible. He then got an injury, was out for ages. And then even in the summer, they were like, we'll have to see what he does. Okay, he's done really well and he scored penalties, but It isn't easy. It's not easy to just go, yeah, get him and get him.
Have you seen there was reading an article about how there's a big crisis in Italy at the minute with they can't get goal scorers at all.
But that's it.
And it's like the top goal scorers, that Chanaloglu, who's a defensive midfielder on 5, and he's the top goal scorer.
Yeah.
And there's like a record amount of 0-0s and like 1-0s this season.
There's a dearth.
That's because they destroyed the number 10 role. Never mind the centre forward role. They destroyed the number 10 role, which was always the bread and butter of people scoring goals in Italy.
We've destroyed the number 9 role here because academies have gone and just look for big lads who are fast, who can run about. They're not cultured strikers. They're not lads with instinct. And a lot of lads who've probably got goal scoring instinct, which is the hardest thing you can have, mightn't have the physique. Then doesn't mean they couldn't play in the Premier League and be good strikers or whatever. These academies just overlook them. I look at Everton's and I look at the Strand and I just go, what are you like?
Yeah.
And I see, you know, we've had games against some academy thing, you know, like, oh, he's at this academy, and you look and go, he's playing at a club. They're fast, couldn't control a football, can't finish, but can run all day, and we'll get 8, 9 one-on-ones and score one. Because he's not a proper finisher, but the club's having, and that it's the coaches. I think the scouting network is atrocious now that these clubs take, some of them, because it's all about ability with people. Can you get into the right zones and score goals? Then you build off it. Of course, if you're really slow, you think they're just not going to be able to cope because of the pay. I understand that, but just getting big, strong lads who can run to get you through a couple of years, then they get released. That no wonder in this country we don't have any good number 9s anymore.
Yeah. Just for clarity, the Rennes are owned by the Pinot family. They're literally one of the richest families in the world. They are. Artemis, owns like all kinds.
You're absolutely right.
Multi-billion.
Robbie, the video of Pep having a drink with Luca Tony and Tony destroyed him, saying you wrecked his career. And number 9s, he's spot on. He's spot on. Paul, come on, I'll stay on for one more minute. Tell me who you would go for, who will guarantee goals. Mark Cody says exactly, Baz. Fans need to calm down and get behind Barry. Give the lad a chance. It doesn't mean we still shouldn't be looking for another one, by the way, because you need to bridge the gap. But there should be all of the pressure taken off Thierno, Barry. If he was at a good club, he'd just be a development sort of player as well.
Let's all be honest, right? Let's put our cards on. There's only one person that can do it, and it's Richarlison.
It is.
It literally is. I mean,
now, and listen, we're not even advocating buying him, but if you could get him on loan,
literally
for the rest of the season,
you can like put out. Romanticism still exists.
Paul, that's not an answer, is it? That isn't an answer, mate. Not Barry. If you've got a personal thing with him, fine. I'm not gonna do whatever.
I still believe in romanticism in football. I still believe I'm not as many people. I do understand facts and figures, but I still believe in romanticism. I still believe that a player who is loved and a player who's appreciated and a player who's got something to prove will give you 10% more and will get off the sick bed. And I think Richarlison could come into Everton and could play wide right, wide left and centre forward. And suddenly Evertonians once again would have Richarlison. Fella goes to Wolves, gets his number 7 shirt back, and suddenly he's in the team and everyone's focal point. And suddenly Barry just gets to get on with what he's doing without the glare of the spotlight. Pressure. And Richarlison will happily soak that up because he wants to play for Brazil in the World Cup.
He wants to play for Everton, I think.
No, but just in terms of if you want that incentive,
of course,
you want that incentive. He wants to play for Brazil in the World Cup, and for me, I'll take all. People can go, well, he's only played this many games. For me personally, I think he doesn't kill himself playing for Everton because he wants to play in Brazil. Wants to play for Brazil in the World Cup, but
doesn't kill himself playing for Tottenham.
But that's the point, is that Tottenham aren't going to give him the games that he needs, whereas Everton, he'll be think, I'm in the team every single game, which he probably would be, and that helps him and it helps us, and fans get someone they can get behind, and I think for me that just makes sense.
Gary Led says 100% Baz. My boy's 11 got top goal scorer, top assist for his team, but forbid by a Spurs scout that he wouldn't be taking her academy as he isn't. Yeah. That's it, mate. They look past it. They look past it and go, well, you can't run 100 metres in 9 seconds or something. Like, yeah. Show me strikers who do that regularly in the Premier League and score goals, and it's nonsense. But you know, it's like goalies, academies taking goalies who aren't good shot stoppers, but they can hit a 40-yard, 60, 70-yard pass. It's like you may just put a midfielder in goal. It's nonsense. The game's eating itself because these coaches and scouts they're looking at it all wrong. Strikers are the most valuable players in the game. End of story. Because they're the ones who make the difference at the top end of the pitch. And we've lost the ability to coach them and to get what's good and what's important for them. It isn't important running channels. It is in a team game, but you've got to do the right thing. You've got to have them in the right areas to score the goals that win you the games, that win you the points.
And if you think Richarlison was crap, he had 68 goal involvements in 152 games for Everton. That's quite good.
Miles better than anything.
Exactly. That's quite good. So
double figures every season. Every season playing off the wing. Double figures. What we'd give for now. You know what I mean? But what you've got to remember with Richarlison is playing for Spurs. Right? And Sean, he plays up front for Tottenham and still he's got 4 in 6 starts, so he is pretty decent. When he got 2 at Goodison, not last season, the season before, he played up front as their 9 and scored twice. Last season he come on up front and scored at Goodison. And this season he come on up front and had an assist to Hill Dickinson the other week. The thing with Richarlison is he will give you extra because it's Everton. There's a difference, but he quite clearly loves Everton Football Club for whatever reason. You're a bit like Garner in that respect. It's a bit mad. They just got this affinity. They love the club, and you get more out of him. But he's assured his touch is good, his movement's good. He knows where the net is. His goals this season have all been in the penalty area for Spurs, which is what Everton need, a penalty box striker. He runs that little bit harder for Everton. Wants to do more. And like Ped said, he's then also got the big incentive of getting in that World Cup squad for Brazil. So, and there's no settling in. And he really grafts and works hard. And don't get me wrong, listen, I'm not saying he's absolutely perfect, because he isn't.
No.
But
absolutely,
we could get him on loan and then assess the situation while he's on loan. You can make a proper decision. It also takes the heat off Thierno Barry. And it's an option. That's all I'm saying. I just think everyone else we get will be a gamble. And Richie, to some extent, will be a gamble.
Sorry, there's like a waft or something in here. It's just caught up my nose.
Jesus Christ. But there you go. Anyway, let's see what happens. Stoic Led Life says, do you think less and less kids are going out playing football every day like Rooney went out every day and had incredible control? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a real lack of it.
I'm going to send you something to put on the screen.
There's a real lack of it. El Tel says, I think Richarlison gives us an extra dimension to the team. And plus he works his socks off. Well, he does, and that sets a good precedent through it as well. And just think if he's got Jack Grealish and Illiman and Jai supplying him as well. So if you're looking to try to get someone who you could maybe get on a short-term deal while you assess it, then, and he won't take ages to settle in, I do think Richarlison's like sort of the safest one you could maybe do.
Nice one.
Paul Davies says the Yak's only about 25, should get him back. Derek says, Baz, you mentioned Mateta and how bad he looked, but could you also add Drogba, Henry and Salah, who struggled when they first came into the Prem, so at least give Barry half a season? People do struggle and then settle in and you go, he's brilliant now, isn't he? Dan W says, Spurs didn't appreciate Pienaar and they don't appreciate Richie, bring him back. And Graham Lloyd says, would love Richie back. Right, what have you got for us?
James, we've got 2 brand new Christmas jumpers are available right now. James is going to put them up right now.
I am.
in a minute. All the other ones that we've had in the past are available in our Christmas shop. The Gladys Street one's still available. The ones from previous years are still available. So, and James is very much going to. We've got a Chang themed Christmas jumper this year. It'll make sense when you. I mean, you can make it bigger. There you go. It's a Chang themed Christmas jumper. I think it makes sense now when you see it. So you know you can.
Bit of the kit on it, but
You
still,
can go
yeah.
back. You can go back to. I mean, you can go back to the memories of the Chang, which a lot of people. And this is our Dixie Dean Castor Wings inspired, a third kit inspired Christmas jumper as well. There you go. They're available right now to buy. So yeah, and get on there. And if you don't like those two and you're looking for one, there's some available from the last couple of years that we've put out as well. If you haven't bought one of them, this is the time to buy them. So get them quick. You know, only a week and a half left of November. So James is doing some other weird stuff on the screen there as well. By the looks of it,
It shows the link.
and it's quite small though.
No, because
That's all right. Thanks,
Okay.
Paul James. There, he's just showing you. He's showing you where you're at.
So there you go.
Mark says, did well to keep going there. Baz, DJ J.O. Baz says, Peddy just caught James's cold, he said. Yeah.
No, I haven't caught James's cold. There was a whiff of something, just caught me nose. Down the nostrils.
You could play Richie with Barry. You're absolutely
What,
correct.
Jamo?
see that Emma asked where's James's Beto jumper.
Yeah.
I think it should be there. I think we need to.
Yeah.
No, it isn't too early for Christmas stuff because it's the order and getting it in. Make sure it's got
and
to
it's
be up.
definitely not too
And
early
it's the
for Christmas
20th of
stuff.
November.
I know.
So you've got to. Daniel says, love it. And Craig says, I like the Chang one. But there you go. Listen, if you're looking for a Christmas jumper, there you go. Why not get them? Christmas jumper day is in second week in December, I think it is, isn't it? So there you go. The Dixie Dean one. If you want to nod to our greatest ever goal scorer, the irony that we can't score a goal now, but you know, who knows? Maybe once we start getting them and wearing the Christmas jumpers, the spirit of Dixie Dean will get in to our strikers and help them score some
They
goals.
probably won't, but
we can hope. We can all but hope. Right, we're done. Thank you very much to everyone who's joined us. Like, subscribe, do all that. See you later. Bye.
bye.